Welcome back to another live edition of The Hard Count. This is your host, Alex, joined always by Christian. How you doing, man?
Doing great. I'm feeling good for my hiatus last week and my holiday, my little holiday break, just like Corey is on right now. That way he can join us on the pod. So good to see you in flesh, virtual flesh last week. Would have been our first time, but life kind of got the better of me as it tends to do. But glad to be back. Glad my team's in the playoff, your team's in the playoff. These two guys that are next to us, unfortunately, not in the playoffs, but it's okay. We'll get to that. God's plan. But yeah, I hope you guys all had a great holiday. I think Corey, it's like next week sometime. So, it's like happy holidays was like last week for you. You were tweeting like Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas like a full day before any of us could. So
Corey lives in the future. It's unbelievable.
In the future, man. It's good.
It's interesting. How's the weather going to be tomorrow? Just let me know.
He said, "Bundle up, boys."
That's actually how I'm actually pretty good at player props. Is Corey just kind of teases like, "Oh, this person might go off."
It's not how it actually works, but yeah, sure.
No, and then and we got Perry here, special guest, second time on the show. Looks like Christian and Perry's little romantic getaway at Perch in LA is going fantastic.
Yeah. We're actually we're at a rooftop, beautiful 5-star restaurant here during the pandemic.
Cheers, babe, to a great year.
Cheers to a great year. We're in the studio, as we like to call it. Got the city behind us, the green screen of LA, and I'm living good. I'm feeling great being here with you guys. Per usual, football season's coming to an end. The Cowboys sucked for the most part. Had some flashes there that at least give me some hope, but I'm not looking forward to the playoffs for personal reasons. I'm just looking forward to it just to watch as an analyst and have fun.
That's messed up.
Connie, get your ass back to Nans and get off our stream.
Connie, I'm getting Perry on Warzone tonight. It's happening.
It's not happening.
Oh my God! All right, Christian. Now we've seen the Cowboys without Dak for a majority of the year. Should Dak get paid?
I think my stance hasn't changed since the start of the season, injury and whatnot. Dak deserves to get paid, but it needs to be a realistic number. They can go and break the bank on quarterback, but Jerry Jones, unfortunately, has kind of limited. Oh, shirt change! Look at that!
Oh my God!
No, I've never seen that in my life.
He's taking after me. I used to do jersey changes every 5 minutes on the first couple of podcasts, and then everyone saw my jersey, so I decided to calm it down. But feeling good. Alex, I have to ask you though. Dak should get paid.
This is going to be a fun stream. I can already tell.
We don't need to stoop to that. We don't need to stoop to that level. We all know Dak should get paid. Plain and simple.
$30 million a year.
I mean, wherever they come to, if that's a franchise tag, if that's an extension, regardless, he'll be a Cowboy next year. That's a guarantee.
$30 million, $5 million between friends. What's $5 million between friends?
Nothing. Chump change, baby.
Jerry Jones can't go get him an endorsement and make up that other $5 million. If you guys want to win a Super Bowl, you can't pay him more than $34 million. He's not Patrick Mahomes. I think he solidified the fact that he deserves to get paid because they are completely awful without him. But also, let's be real, they were kind of shit with him. They had a losing record when he was healthy.
They had the statistically fourth worst ranked defense in the history of football until Dak Prescott went down, and then ever since they've been mid-ranked in the league. So at the end of the day, you're talking about two completely different sides of the ball right there with two quarterbacks and the coaching staff, which was brand new, top to bottom, that started to figure out something as the year went on. So looking at the first 5 games in comparison to the last part of the game, it's easy to look at it. And I'm a numbers guy, so that would fall into my normal argument. But it's the fact that defense was, like I said, historically the 4th worst in history when he went down. It wasn't the same group. So end of the day, I'm not going to take those numbers, but you can clearly see that the quarterbacks out there aren't giving them the best chance to win. But Andy Dalton put his heart out there on the line, especially that last game, for a backup quarterback. Obviously he's been a starter before, but he's got to be up there with one of the best backups in the league, and you got to feel good having a guy like that on your team. But it's just not. He's not the answer. And what are you gonna do? Go attack the draft again? I know you guys are gonna bring that up as at least the first round after. That's a joke. But I mean, if you want to take a stab towards the third or fourth, like where you got Dak, it's never a bad idea to always look for the future. You know, it's not. But if you're gonna go waste the number 10 overall pick on a quarterback, you don't know what you're doing as a franchise. But it needs to be a person that plays defense. But the Cowboys got a decent future. We'll see.
That's not unfair. The only point I would make is 2018, I want to say it was, when Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs basically had like the 32nd and 31st worst defense in the NFL. And they were a heartbeat away from beating Corey's Patriots if it wasn't for a D Ford offside penalty that, you know,
with a very competent coaching staff. You're talking about a brand new coaching staff led by Mike McCarthy coming in there with the fourth worst defense in history in the beginning of the year for the first 5 games. Like, that was a mess. It was brutal. And Dak leaving, you started being like, wow, this is hopeless, you know?
Yeah. And speaking of hopeless, you know, what direction do you guys go into next year? You know, there's cornerback, which I think you guys could use, offensive line you could use, quarterback you could use, but you guys will probably draft like Jalen Waddle or something, or Devontae.
No, Pitts.
Yeah, you'll see Patrick Surtain or Caleb Farley in a Cowboys jersey in that secondary next year, and I'll be very happy about it.
The Cowboys are the definition of the house in the projects that has like 2 Hummers, a Lamborghini out front, like just all this shit you don't need, and then like offensive line is just completely gone.
The offensive line had some problems. Like, to say that there's not tons of holes on the team would be a joke. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a 49ers fan, Mark, you know, you're feeling like shit because you're playing in the toughest division in the entire league in the last decade, probably. So you're looking at the NFC East and you're like, what do the Cowboys need to put together next year to get in? It's not nearly as much as a team like the Rams per se. Or even looking like the Patriots with how good the Bills look and how the Dolphins are taking those strides. They're not going to win 9 games and win that division next year. I'll tell you that. I mean, you're going to have to win double-digit amount of games. The Bills just cleared 12 games. Like, you don't think they're going to win.
Hold on.
10 next year?
And 7 minutes and 24 seconds in, we have Corey here as well. How are you, Corey?
I'm great until that comment. Anyway.
I mean, you're going to have to win 10 games. With the Bills.
We can win 10 games. Have you seen our schedule? We play like the third place schedule, and we play the AFC South.
Cowboys are only going to have to win 8, maybe 9. You know.
You guys could have won 7 this year and made it.
Yeah, exactly. So next year, I don't think it's seeing that different. It'll probably be somewhat similar.
We'll see. We'll see.
I think the Washington is the team.
We'll see. Washington. Hey, shout out Ron Rivera. Beat cancer in October.
We can get a quarterback. Yeah, that'd be great.
Shout out Ron Rivera.
You put Trey Lance on that roster. You put Alex at North Dakota State, and you see what happens.
Yeah.
Just Carson Wentz to the Redskins or to the football team.
No, to the Colts.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad theory there, Corey. I don't actually. I mean, as someone in the division, I don't see.
I don't think they would do that to the division.
I don't see him doing it. Yeah, but at the same time, that's not a bad fit.
Corey, do you even want to give any attention to Connie's comment on the screen?
I don't acknowledge that person. So,
Mark put dead ass in separate words.
I saw my boy Cam ball out this week though against the Jets.
Caught a touchdown. Ooh, Nick Foles who?
I can't wait to see Jacoby Brissett under center next year. That's all I'm saying.
Oh jeez.
It's gonna happen.
I saw somebody say like Jimmy Garoppolo going back to New England.
That's
I could see that too. Because BB loves Jimmy G.
Yeah, Jimmy's not going to be starting in San Francisco next year.
Yo, Connie has had such a long day streaming. Now he's freed up his schedule to be here till Corey admits how terrible Cam is. Connie. Oh man. But real quick, before we get even deeper into these conversations, shout out to mybookie.ag. Take advantage of our code USN100 to get a matching deposit bonus plus $15 of cash in your account. With so much sports going on, NFL playoffs, NBA, check out player props with Corey and myself. And maybe, Christian will bless us with some of his college parlays that, I tailed a few of them. They've gotten pretty close. And, for when, Christian and I and Corey and Perry, after a long day at the gym, we like to, wind down with some RX hemp with our code USN-100. We got the cool therapy, the warm therapy. Christian, do any of you gentlemen have like a favorite? My favorite's the cool therapy, but the warm therapy has grown on me. I don't know if any of you guys use it in your repertoire.
I like rolling up a big old backwood. Oh, you mean the cream? Yes, I like the warming one. I also like the cooling one. I like it around my thighs. I know it kind of sounds weird, but when I'm running, I kind of get the cooling sensation down there. And I find it to be quite pleasant. So my name is Christian, and I'll give you cool RX hemp usages. Alex, for instance, he puts it above his eyebrows because he'd be squinting all day. Helps with the muscles, gets sore in his face. That's how he looks like he's 21 and acts like he's 19.
What's funny is I don't know why. Like last week, I literally had my guard down the whole podcast. I didn't have to have comebacks ready, and then literally as soon as we started talking some business, here comes Christian. Yo, you and Connie, man, you guys devise these old jokes at me, man. It's not cool, man.
All right, Boomer.
Warm therapy's nice. I like the warm therapy. I'm more of a hot pack guy.
Perry, how old are you?
More of a hot guy. I'm 25. I'd be 26.
26. Corey, you and I, the older people, are at the top, and we have a similar background. I'm at Corey's house right now. I'm in Perth.
You're my house.
You don't have the helmets,
You
bro.
might as well be on the surface of Mars, equally as far away.
Oh man! All right, well, let's get right to it. I want to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. It has been an insane circus post Sunday Night Football. Whether pulling Jalen Hurts was the right move, if the Eagles were just putting a big middle finger to the Giants, which I now hear a lot of people's points on, you only won 6 games, so I mean, how mad could you really be? But with that performance, with what happened with the coaching, Miles Sanders came out and said, yo, no one was behind that team, in terms of his team. Am I back now?
You're breaking up. Yeah,
we got you guys.
Spottiest Wi-Fi in podcast history, Alex.
I'm in Perth, dude. Australia has the 38th worst Wi-Fi. Corey said that on streams before.
Yeah, it's
38.
How's the business job?
Over your router.
Basically, Miles Sanders, and you could even see Jalen Hurts on the sideline saying, this isn't right. Everybody's body language, once that happened, you could tell that it just was out of the norm. Even they didn't feel comfortable with it. What was your guys' initial reaction? We're going to start off with you, Perry, you being, a fan of a team in the NFC East. What was your thoughts on this? How did you feel about it? How big of a fuck you would have been to you as a Cowboys fan that, your team kind of rallied in the second half of the season, could have pulled off a playoff run, and then for the Eagles to just, leave the game on, leave the controller just out and just let the game play.
Yeah, I mean, that was crap, really. I mean, as a competitor, you want to see them go down to the end, and especially in a year that's so unorthodox, you want to let it play out. You want to do your part, go out there, put the guys that you want out there, play as hard as you can, and give your fans the hope that your team was able to get through the season, able to weather through all the COVID and injuries and everything like that, the rescheduling, and feel good about next season. If that doesn't mean that you're eligible for the playoffs, for the Cowboys, I'm way more optimistic right now than I was 6-7 weeks ago because of the fact that they finished the season with heart. You saw certain things to where you're pulling that out for the next year where it's not a lost cause. You see certain players and the effort level and scheme changes and things like that, to where it really goes, like I said, the effort level really to where you're looking at it, these guys still want to be out there and play. They have their heart in the game. They want to strap up that day and make sure that they're going to give yourself 100%. And with Doug Peterson, that's already not a guy that when he speaks, and hold on, let me, Jesus Christ. Dak Prescott ever do the top 7, blah, blah, blah.
Dak Prescott's top 7 QB through 5 weeks. Andy Dalton was subpar. Ben DiNucci was more subpar. A second tag equals $37.7 million. Cap hit. Yeah. Needs rebuild. O-line needs rebuild. Dallas, too much money invested to start over. NFC East is terrible. The window is now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, end of the day, the easiest route to the playoffs is the NFC East. Like, there's no debate with anybody, any football fan, any casual. Doesn't matter. Go type in standings on Google. You'll look at it and say, wow, that's a joke when you're looking in comparison to the West. And back to the original topic, I would be disappointed as an Eagles fan, less on my team and more on Doug Peterson, because that's already not a guy, although he's won you a Super Bowl, to see the lack of success since Frank Reich has left really shows you how important that connection was to Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. Like, whoever was the quarterback of that team and the way that offense ran, it ran through Frank Reich. And the second that he left, you haven't seen the same Carson Wentz. You haven't seen the same offensive scheme. You haven't seen too much of a competent scheme. Like, Miles Sanders is one of the top running backs in this league. Like, you guys can probably agree that for at least talent-wise, he's absolutely top 10. But you can't really give him that tag because the team hasn't given him that opportunity. Like, he'll go 10 rushes, have 80 yards, and then you see his ending stats, and that's in the second quarter. End of the game, he's had 14 carries. They're like, how did he have 4 carries the rest of the game when he put up 80 yards on those 10? Like, how is that even possible? No matter how the game script went, that's your best guy out there that's giving you the best yardage. And that's the end goal that everyone wants to see. And that's where Doug Peterson failed. You need to have your best guys out there giving 100% and fighting until the end. If you're not a good enough team to win that game, so be it. But you're going to do what Andy Dalton did with a bleeding hand when someone stepped on that. He's still out there busting 10-yard QB sneaks for the first down because he's going out to put his heart on the line. Like, as a fan, I freaking respect that. Like, that, I look at that and I say, like, damn, like, for real, thank you. Like, I enjoy watching this game, even though we lost, because I felt that effort level, and I saw certain players out there that I hope return next year. Because if they're back with Dak Prescott, another year of the coaching, these things, you start to feel better because you know that at least some guys have their heart in the game. And with the Eagles, do you know if they have their heart? Do you know if your coach has his heart in the game? Like, when he talks, he doesn't speak with conviction. Like, he seems lost all the time. Like, I'm not convinced with him as a head coach. And now with this already being on the hot seat, although he had reassurance from the GM that he was their guy next year, this is the worst thing. Like, Philly sports, they are the most passionate football fans out there. I do not care about anyone. Like, I'm a Cowboys fan. You're a Steelers fan. We got a Rams fan. We got Patriots. We have a lot of good teams and other people out there that are so passionate about their teams. No one rides like Philly does. They literally booed Santa. I know someone says that on every time I'm on a screen, and they are the hardest to please, and they have the highest expectation, even if it's unrealistic. And they are East Coasters, die hard, at your throat. They don't give a shit. And you want to go put your reputation on the line like that? You got Hurts that's moving. He's grooving. He's having a good time this season. That the fans feel good that even though Wentz kind of just took a dump on the season, if it's his fault or not, regardless, the production wasn't there. And you turn to the new guy, and all of us, including myself, said, I don't think this is the answer right now. Who knows what he's going to bring? And he shut me up after the first game. Definitely shut me up after the second game. I was well wrong about that one. So you have a guy that's supposed to be your future. You want to ride this momentum into the next year, and then you sit him at the end of the game. And then he says the stupidest comments at the end of the game. He says that he gets asked, did you coach to win that game? He says, yes, I coached to win that game. And then goes to say that Nate Sudfeld, or however you pronounce his last name, deserved snaps. So he just thought he deserved some snaps. How are you coaching to win the game if you think a third-string quarterback that hasn't really seen the field in 2 years deserves snaps? How is that winning coaching? To me, that's you throwing the towel in and trying to give your practice squad guys, the guys that are the locker room guys, he's such a good guy, he's always there for the team, we should give him a few snaps. That's loser football. And that's why every single person, fan or not, Giants fan, Cowboys fan, Steelers fan, Rams fan, Steelers fan, Patriots, doesn't matter who you are, you're pissed off a little bit right now because you're just like, come on, that's just sad, bro. Like, really? Like, you're going to flop like that? Like, that's pathetic. And you can see it from the players. He's lost the locker room. There's no getting it back. And if he starts next season, I could bet every single cent in my bank account that Doug Peterson will not be the coach for the Eagles week 17 of next season. I could promise you he won't finish the season as coach if they start with it. It's a mess. And that's coming from a Cowboys fan who doesn't have it all figured out either. But at least
I'm writing that in the Rolodex, by the way.
At least you didn't throw the white towel in and be pathetic losers. Like, that was at least McCarthy went down fighting. Thank you. Bad decisions or not. Like, I appreciate the fucking effort. Doug Peterson, you're a bum.
Yeah, anytime Christian agrees with a Perry take, it's about the Cowboys. It's kind of funny because I have no idea if he's setting that up for a joke.
No, I think that's every person that has a competitive bone in their body should be a little bit pissed about this.
It was a very similar to like like when you're a high school team in the playoffs and you get blown out, the coach puts in the seniors, that were like never played, it was horseshit. As someone who bet Washington under and the money line, I'm very happy with the play calling. I'm static. But look at the 49ers, and you had Jimmy Garoppolo, who's traded, middle of the season. He came in, rattled off like 5 or 6 right at the end. Granted, the next year he did get injured, but the year after, I really kind of felt like that 5-game run they really kind of, focused in on. They got Bosa with the number 2 pick, and then they rolled and went to a Super Bowl. So I think there's a lot of validity to finishing out strong, carrying that momentum. Like Perry said, regardless if they thought Jalen Hurts is the future or not, he's definitely their quarterback next year. Right. Carson Wentz is out. That relationship is completely tarnished. I also did bet Washington -6.5, but my parlay hit, and that was more money. So I'm greedy, not fucking selfish. But it was despicable. You saw Jason Kelce give up to basically he had that shit ass snap that was at the ankles. That was a turnover. He didn't even block.
Also let a block go.
Yeah, let a block go and just completely got lit up. Which even if you're not in the game mentally, like you got to protect your homeboy. Like even if it's the 4th string quarterback, equipment manager. I mean, if he's out there.
What's crazy about that too is that I retweeted a video of Jason Kelce 2 months ago at a press conference, very passionately and well spoken. He said that I don't care who you are, where you are. If you strap up, you go out there and you go 100% till the end. Like I will send this to you guys if you guys didn't see it, but it was
I play it if you guys want.
Please do. No, please do, because I think it's more relevant than you expect. Because 2 months ago, like this was a guy that said this, and to see him give up like that, it says a lot about him as a player, but also the fact that Doug Peterson's done. Because even if he kind of gave up at the end there, he's gonna say it's because I just gave up on the coach. Like the coach gave up on us, so I gave up on him. And like once you get that level of disrespect, like it's gone. But like it was literally 2 months before, and he was like, I thought it was amazingly said. Like, and he literally just did that himself. You don't have to play it. I mean, it was so hypocritical. Like, absolutely, it was ridiculous.
You don't think that that's a testament to maybe how much Doug Peterson has lost the locker room? That Kelce was just like, fuck this.
But if you say that he said that with his whole self. You could tell like he stood by that as a man, and it doesn't matter what external factors happen that day, weather, coaching, it doesn't matter. When you go out there, you're giving your all for yourself and for everyone around you. And to say that and mean it, like you got to follow through with that from front to end. And then when you get off that field and you get into the press conference, that's what you say. Our coach gave up on us today. You saw me going all the way to the end. I always will. But like, that's not a guy I want to play for. But to do it yourself 2 months after saying it, and perfectly well said, it's very hypocritical. I think he was calling you out. If you're a competitor, this is how you are. And then he does it. So,
I mean, the Kelce brothers are definitely moody and outspoken. I feel like they both kind of have that trait. It kind of works for them in good times, and it works for them. It works against them in bad times. Outside of your division being a complete dumpster fire and embarrassment to the NFL as a whole, I think that part of that locker room was lost when Carson Wentz was taken out as a starter. You got to believe there's some Wentz loyalists somewhere in the locker room. And, Jalen surprised me too. I told someone to play Baker over Jalen Hurts the week they played the Cardinals, and I had to send many apology texts because that lost someone a fantasy playoff matchup, and I felt really bad.
Oh
but like
God.
I say, you guys do the sports shit, I do the real estate shit. Don't take my advice. I'm here to listen. But the Eagles, by losing, they did get the number 5 pick instead of the number 6 pick, which depending on, I don't know off the top of my head who is ahead of who, but it can be important. Years ago, the Texans wanted Andre Dillard, and the Eagles were 1 pick ahead, and they got Dillard over the Texans. They had to take that guy out of Alabama State. So I think the Eagles are in disarray. There's no team in that entire division. I mean, all 4 of them should realistically be in a rebuild, but because their division, like I said, complete embarrassment, they're going to keep competing for a Super Bowl, competing for a playoff. It's just going to be a snake eating its tail. I don't think the Giants are necessarily preparing for a rebuild. I don't think their quarterback is their future. Saquon's hurt. granted, I do think their offensive line is getting better. Eagles are awful, need a rebuild. The Cowboys are awful, need a rebuild. And, honestly, if the divisions weren't how they were, honestly, the Redskins should probably use a transitional rebuild too, because they need a quarterback. Regardless of what happens in the playoffs, I think Washington should take a quarterback. I don't think going in there with Alex Smith and Kyle Allen gives your team any hope to play for. Realistically, I don't think you win a Super Bowl
long term.
I don't think that's good for morale. So whether it's Trey Lance, Wilson, Kyle Trask, whoever, Jeremiah Newman, the Redskins the Washington need to get a quarterback next year. But that division's awful. Honestly, I hate even having to talk about them because it's annoying. I will say, though, that the Washington defensive line is real, scares the hell out of me. Montez Sweat looks disgusting. Chase Young is nasty.
Yeah.
The rest of that defensive line and that kind of back three, it's going to be once they figure out the offense, that defense is going to be just how the Patriots defense was for years, just taking care of all of the mishaps and put them in good position.
Their defense and the Dolphins defense has to be the two biggest up-and-coming defenses around. Not solidified defenses, because, you have some serious defenses that have been banging for a little bit, but those two defenses, the strides that they took from last season to this season is absurd. Really big leaps forward. But Washington's legit. Ron Rivera is a fantastic coach, fantastic man, beat cancer. He's super motivational, and you're right. They need to get another quarterback too. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the division's up for grabs every year until one of these teams starts to take those steps forward. And we'll see with the offseason. It's going to be all in this offseason, really. It's going to be the draft and free agency, and you're going to have to fill the holes how you fill them. And some teams will have more free agent luck because of their cap space flexibility, but other teams, maybe like the Cowboys and the Eagles, who are a little bit more handcuffed with their current situations, are going to have to trade away certain pieces and certain assets. Very. I mean, they're going to have to go through the draft and trade assets.
Let me get in this conversation.
Jump in, baby. The water's warm.
But let me cook a little bit
because Perry just peed.
All right. So Philadelphia Eagles next year cap situation negative $81 million. So congratulations to them. I'm sure they'll make lots of moves to fix that team. Good luck. Good luck. They don't have enough money to sign their draft picks right now.
God.
They're the second worst in the NFL. So there's actually a team worse than them. It's the Saints. They have $99 million negative.
Wow.
So that's fun.
They better win this year. They better win.
They will lose the $40 million they're paying Drew Brees, but still not enough. The Giants are in bad shape. They're negative $254,000, so not too bad. They can make some moves there. Dallas is $10 million over next year, so that's $10 million in cap space. But the real winner here is Washington, who has $40 million in cap space next year.
Yeah.
With 49 guys signed for next year already, so they can potentially make some moves still, and they still have so much cap space. That defense is going to be hell to pay against. That D line is something else. I think they can bolster that secondary even more, and even their linebacking core. But if they just get just above average quarterback play, I think Washington probably will be in looking at the veteran market.
They killed the running back market this year too. To score the way they did with Antonio Gibson, and to bring J.D. McKissick's career up the way that they did and use them in that scheme, they're set at that position too. When going into the year, it was a huge wild card, and I'm a big fan of their running back room.
Guys.
Corey just got McKissick tattooed on the back of his elbow.
Along with Brogdon on the other arm.
and then Middleton, right below his neck.
In the back, yeah.
Middleton's a lower back tattoo, bro.
But not top 30 list. I'm that one. Anyways, but yeah, so I think Washington is probably in the prime seat to get better and keep pushing here. I think if Dallas does get Dak back, I think they can compete. Obviously, they have the talent on the roster, but whether they can put that all together, we are yet to see. We always say that every year about Dallas. Can they put it together? But it just doesn't seem to happen.
It's nice to see Kellen Moore coming back as offensive coordinator, just because if you would have, after flipping the whole coaching staff except Kellen Moore, the next year have to replace Kellen Moore too, coming off this season, that transition would not have been easy, especially with Dak coming back off an injury. Like, it just wouldn't have been a really comfortable situation. And I'm a big Kellen Moore fan. He's had to adapt to different coaching staffs and different situations. And at a young age, he's had it figured out. So I just like that every year he takes that next step. And coming back, spurning a head coaching gig at Boise State, which is his alma mater, he has to feel good about his situation to do that. Like, he has to feel really good about if that's next year in particular, or the future of that team with him at that spot, or just his future as a potential NFL head coach and taking his route by staying in the league as a coordinator instead of going back to college as a head coach. Regardless, it's the right move for Kellen Moore because he wouldn't have made it if not. And he's getting paid pretty well. Yeah. But it's going to be
quarterback this year.
What was that?
So maybe he should have played quarterback this year.
At some point when I saw DiNucci playing, I was like, Kellen, strap those babies up. Come on, what the fuck? Get the fuck in there.
That week, they started the receiver. They were going to have the quarterback's coach play.
Oh, the Broncos, when they tried to get an assistant coach. He was like 34 or something like that. Yeah.
He throws passes every day in practice. Let's get him out there.
He probably still got it. He got him more than Hinton, I'll tell you that.
If I'm Kellen Moore, I'm eyeing Mike McCarthy's job. If he has another season like this, does Jerry change the hand?
Jerry's very loyal. But I like what Christian said, because if there was going to be a move, I think due to his loyalty, it would be promoting somebody in-house instead of now going back to the open market and trying again. Like, he's too prideful to say that he made the mistake like that and go back in. He'd use the scapegoat, and if it might be the right decision, who knows, that we already had the right guy in-house. And
you can only invite so many people to your house to sleep over, so, you know.
Exactly. Unless you buy more pillows.
I was gonna make a joke, but never mind.
Unless you buy more pillows.
It's gonna make a toxic joke. Shout out, Christian.
Maybe you invite him back to his submarine.
The group chat. The group chat.
Happy birthday, Paula.
Oh my God! Stop.
Just stop drinking the Trulies. Stop drinking the Trulies. What are you drinking on today, by the way?
Dixie Pixie.
Nice little red wine.
Corey, what are you drinking?
Fat Pixie.
What do you have? What do you have?
Urban
what do you have available in case your wife comes in the door and sees you drinking in the morning?
He has 2 Pepsi cans.
Energy drink.
I got my toothbrush. I got my toothpaste. I got my energy drink for after. She'll never know.
All right, we'll dig into the Washington football team when we talk about the weekly matchups. But
can we be done with the NFC East?
Yes.
I'm cool.
Because Perry has the NFC East like tattooed on his butt. Like he is passionate about that division.
Why everyone getting tattoos, Alex?
You love what you love. You love what you love. Your heart tells you what you want. So.
It's 33 minutes in, and we have yet to talk about actual football.
You love what you love. I thought you were just talking about how the football team, the Washington football team.
We talked about the football team. What do you mean?
Yeah, the football team, Christian. Put some respect on them.
You
can't even remember their name, Christian.
They would beat the Steelers right now. You know for a fact, neutral field, the Washington's beating you guys right now.
Let's talk about the terrible Steelers and the terrible Browns.
Actually, I did want to bring up, so as you guys know, for those of you who are active on the group chat, there was a bit of a discussion about, what's going to happen when you start getting some COVID positive results for playoff teams, and how the NFL is going to react. Like the discussion was brought up. Hey, Patrick Mahomes, if he was to go down, he's like the NFL's like poster child, he's the NFL's future. Would they postpone it? And in conversations, and Corey brought it up that like competitive edge wasn't going to be a conversation. Like it was the season was going to happen however it was going to happen. Like, do you guys see the NFL going back on that? Let's say Mahomes does get sick. I know, unfortunately, Stefanski and some other coaches for the Browns, like, that's brutal. Their first playoff berth, like, the Browns were so excited. They had, like, shirts that they made the playoffs. Like, this is a huge deal. Like I know everybody, like, on Twitter are trying to downplay the Browns making playoff shirts, but when you've been that down as a fan, like, you got to appreciate these moments.
Oh, yeah.
So I have I'm not a part of the Steelers crowd that's like, oh, Browns made playoff shirts. Like, no, y'all fucking enjoy it. Like, y'all haven't had that type of success. Like, I mean, I've told Christian, I've said this on the podcast, I've been very happy and excited with the way the Browns offense has kind of gotten, the most out of their players. I mean, you've got 2 great running backs. Jarvis Landry's been amazing these last couple weeks. Hopefully LBJ can mesh into what Stefanski's doing. But what a hit, unfortunately, to them that they don't have their fucking offensive guru out there for this game. And obviously Alvin Kamara, just fucking shout out to Christian's fantasy team. He fucking helped them secure that championship dub, but now the Saints may not have him back. So what do you guys think about COVID with the playoffs? Like, do you guys think there'll be a chance that shit'll get pushed, or do you think it's just going to be like, it is what it is, deal with it? Corey, what do you think? Let's get you started before Perry talks about 40 minutes about the Cowboys.
No.
Just kidding.
Well, I think they got to it's status quo right now. I mean, this isn't the Super Bowl, so they got to plug along as they have all season long, unless they want to move it, till Monday or something like that. I can see that, but I don't see them canceling it and like playing it, another week or anything like that. So it's been the same all year. The teams knew what they were getting into. All the teams knew what they were getting into when they opted in. So that being the case, then it is what it is at this point.
Christian, do you see any special clauses or anything brought up where they'll push something, or do you think it's just going to be, it is what it is, handle what you can do?
I mean, you bought the whole Patrick Mahomes thing. I think when a player of that caliber, Alvin Kamara, I think is somewhat close. I think position being different is the only reason why, but I think they should consider it. I don't know if they'll actually do it, but with kind of where the landscape of the league is at right now, and that kind of also mirrors where we're at as a country in terms of the COVID cases. It's never been worse. Los Angeles, 1 out of every 5 people who's tested has COVID. So, a week's not going to change anything. I mean, even if we shut down the country, it's not going to change anything in a week. I don't think it's going to get worse because of the holidays and whatnot. So I think they should entertain pushing it a week. I don't know if they will, unless a player like Patrick Mahomes, a Drew Brees level player, a coach like, Andy Reid, is COVID positive. I think that would kind of, it's the whole same thing too with LeBron in the bubble. What if LeBron got COVID? Okay, well, he didn't, but if they did, you kind of add more validity to shutting down the entire league for a portion of the time when, let's be frank, Patrick Mahomes gets paid that amount of money because he's so entertaining. Like, people watch him, and they're going to watch him. I remember when I lost Wi-Fi for the AFC Championship game last year, I basically cried because I wanted to watch him play. Like, I was through a grown man's fit. I was like, this is Time Warner, what the fuck?
That's not why he makes money. The reason why he makes money is because that's where the market is.
Well, the NFL makes money off of that, is the point I'm trying to make. Same with LeBron. LeBron makes the NBA so much money. If he's not on the screen and you're watching Orlando versus 76ers, like, no one's going to watch. Like, it just is what it is. But I think if stuff like that starts to happen, you have a Denver situation where, Tyreek Hill is lining up at quarterback for Kansas City.
That's ridiculous.
I think then they would push it back. But as things stand, I'm kind of leaning towards no. If I was the commissioner of the NFL, I definitely would consider pushing it back a week just to kind of get some of these more marquee players into the lineup.
Well, I agree. If there is a decision to be made, you want it to be pushed back because you want people to be healthy and you don't want that risk. But it's too late for that now. Like, you haven't drawn your line in the sand correctly if you're the NFL. Like, some weeks you handled it right, and then when all of a sudden the Ravens were involved, or all of a sudden the Broncos were involved, all of a sudden it's a mess. It's either getting postponed too much, not getting postponed enough, or forcing people to go with practice squads, like that 49ers week and stuff. But it just seemed to me, it's right back to, Corey just liked my tweet about the Ohio State COVID stuff that potentially might be pushing back the national championship. And first off, both Ohio teams, Browns and Ohio State. So Ohio, get your shit together. I don't care who's watching. Like, when there's smoke, there's fire. So why don't you get your shit straight and do what we're all doing right now and not letting that get the best of us? It doesn't matter about the timing. We're, like you all mentioned, we're all here in the same boat. I don't have pity for anybody. I don't have empathy for any of these teams. We all signed up for the same thing. We all have to follow the exact same protocols. We've all been in this pandemic the exact same amount of times. It doesn't matter if I'm going to a restaurant to work, if they're playing football. Like, when you go out that day, if it's going to dinner with your family, whatever it may be, you're taking that risk. And it's your job to take the precautions necessary, especially when you have something as heavy as an NFL season on the line and you're a professional head coach. If I'm a head coach and I got the team in the playoffs for the first time since who knows when, I'm bubble boy. Like, you're not going to catch me anywhere. Like, I have 3 shields on. Like, don't even look at me unless you're my family member. Like, I'm getting through this playoffs, which is only like a month more. And then I don't give a shit if I test positive or not. But because I matter this much to the team's success, because the city is relying on me the way that they are, a city of losers historically now is starting to feel the taste of victory. Like you mentioned, Alex, they damn well deserve to wear those playoff shirts. Some of us are more blessed than others historically. Like, I'm sorry. Are you going to hate on someone because their team hasn't brought them success historically? You're going to hate on them for getting excited when it finally happens, even if it's not a championship. Just the fact that they're sniffing success, it's not a flop every year. Good for them. But if I'm the head coach, Stefanski, I'm taking extra precaution. I'm wearing a condom unnecessarily for no reason. I'm wearing a mask, a shield. I'm staying erect the whole game with a condom. Everything on my body is wrapped.
Oh my God.
I wear a bulletproof condom.
I'm bubble boy because I matter that fucking much to the city of Cleveland and this team's success, because having the next person in line coming up is not going to do it. I love it.
That is your Big Ben meme for me. I post that.
I'll accept that meme every time.
Poor Mikey, man. You hit Mikey with that so many times.
My homie that roots for the Lakers G League team, Mikey, yeah.
We just saw Mikey, so shout out to Mikey. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just kind of a bad situation, and I think if the NFL was clear with, okay, when we have 8 COVID cases on a particular team, we are automatically postponing the game. Like, if that was the clear set rules and protocols, then we'd be like, so how many COVID cases has there been? 6? Okay, I think we still have a chance of this game. There's 9 cases now. I think this is definitely done, because now it's hit that rule that they drew in the sand very clearly. That's never been done irresponsibly by the league. It's not the team's fault. It's the league. So now it's just like, oh, is this team marquee enough to get the exception? Do they care about safety in this scenario? Oh, all of a sudden it's about ratings. I'm fucking over that shit. Like, seriously, it's about well-being and safety over ratings. Although I know it's a business, we crave sports more than anything. We're tuning in regardless. I'm sorry. And it's the playoffs right now. This is the NFL. It's a big beast. You're not competing. No one's going to compete with this. The Hornets and 76ers isn't going to compete with the wild card.
Yo, look at the 76ers catching strays on this episode.
We hate.
Sorry, bro. Like, my bad. My bad. Like, process is not working.
Alec, Ben, and all the Eagles fans are just leaving the chat right now.
Shout out LA behind us. But yeah,
it's a dirty city. I said
it just seems like I'm more upset on the league for not being clear enough. And I mean, even more so with the college football, where these are kids, and you got Ohio State who got an exception to be let in, and then now it might get postponed because they now have COVID stuff. It just
Justin Fields hurt his wrist.
But if it wasn't them, and if it was Cincinnati that somehow got in and this happened, they would let them go out there with COVID problems and let them go get their ass stomped. So it just doesn't matter. It's so baffling to me as a human that does take this seriously, how like half in, half out, depending on the situation these leagues are. And there's these quote unquote protocols, and it's just the CDC guidelines that we all can find online. There's nothing special about that. They say wear your mask, but then you look on field and they're not wearing the mask. And yeah, you take away a draft pick here and there, but it doesn't change the fact that like this is still a serious issue, and you're not going about the aftermath properly. It's less about preventative measures. Maybe you're doing that correctly, but you're not doing damage control correctly. So it's a terrible look for all of these leagues, and particularly the NFL after the MLB did just as bad of a job handling the aftermath of all these. So good job, guys. You know, the only league that's shown any kind of promise in regards to handling this is the NBA, who currently has 0 cases of COVID in the league right now. Knock on wood. But I mean, shout out Adam Silver for actually conducting a business where people follow the rules and have set guidelines. But NFL, do better. Just do better. We won't have to have this debate if you do better.
Lou Will and James Harden have entered the chat.
I thought in terms of protocols, they did kind of put the line in the sand because the Broncos situation was isolated. The quarterbacks weren't wearing masks. The Ravens situation, although there was a violation by a trainer, it was like a full-on exposure over there. It wasn't like an isolated incident, which is why I think they got what's quote unquote the special privileges. But every team that it was an isolated incident, there's only a certain amount of trace contact people. Those were the ones where it's like, figure it out. But when it was like the majority of your team is down or the majority of your team is in contact tracing, that's when they started kind of allowing the time to pass on. And I think
I agree. I think it was more of like the specific number of like what number is an outbreak, what number is to where it's just no matter what the reasoning is too much to just no matter what the reasoning, we just call it. Like I've never seen or heard like a clarification on that.
Well, the Steelers had such a bad outbreak because you guys kissed during practice, I heard. They're Chase Claypool and Juju, and they're making TikToks. They go, good job, buddy. And that's kind of how that outbreak went. Good job, buddy. And then both their fantasy careers kind of fell off a cliff this year. But, yeah, that's annoying. The kind of the line in the sand, kind of bigger teams like the Steelers were able to get a little more leeway and then kind of push back and whatnot. But
I just like to know clarity with like a number like 10 cases, regardless of the reason, is too much to play football. Okay. And then I don't need any context. I just need positive cases. Is there 11? Okay, we're not playing this week. Like it could be very simple, but it's overcomplicated because they want to go situation by situation and they don't come up with clear plans. They just act right then and then usually handle the aftermath incorrectly.
I think there's just a lot of semantics to see the Chiefs play the Packers in the Super Bowl at this point, because that's what's going to happen, in my opinion.
The State Farm Bowl?
Yeah, it's State Farm.
All right, that's enough about the terrible Cleveland Browns COVID situation.
Everyone's terrible on this show, apparently. NFC East, Browns.
Hey, the Rams can ball, bro. It doesn't matter who's that quarterback.
Oh, shut up, Christian. Get the fuck out of here. You luckily ducked the episode that Corey was getting ready to kill you.
My quarterback
was the episode. Corey was like Rocky, dude. Corey was like Rocky. Yo, where's Christian?
Corey was so upset when I was watching last week. He was like, "Oh, damn, Christian didn't come like the 1 week I saw up."
That's a Christian move.
Definitely wasn't coordinated effort.
Yes, it was. It was all of a sudden.
I'm here, bitch.
All of a sudden, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
All I know is Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Cam Newton, so I don't want to hear heat.
Are we sure?
Are we sure? Yes, I'm sure. I'm 1,000% sure.
I know Wolford's a better quarterback than Goff. That's all I know.
We have 3 quarterbacks better than Cam Newton on our roster, so I don't want to hear.
Don't you dare put Blake Bortles in that conversation.
No, I'm putting Perkins in that conversation. Our practice squad player.
Sam Perkins?
Yes, from Virginia.
Bryce Perkins.
I
don't remember that.
You can't even say the name right.
Bro, I'm a football head. I only know your last name.
I'm just saying it's okay. Sam.
If you don't have your name taped on the front of your helmet, honestly, it's kind of a wash for me. So that's just kind of how it happens.
Concussions, man, they're a hell of a.
He operates
he kicks my ass constantly.
He operates on a name tag system. If you don't wear a name tag around him, like you're done.
You know what's fucked up about football? Hold on. You know what's fucked up about football? It's that Christian and I have talked about our possible CTE like moments where we're like, is that CTE?
Sometimes I don't know if I'm high or if I'm having like complete mental lapse and like where I'm at. It's quite frightening, but also a little entertaining on this episode of My CTE.
My CTE. That's a sick episode. All right. Let's roll to Christian's all-time favorite segment on this show. This is a live rendition of Corey's Corner, where Corey is going to put us on notice of some tampering that's been going on this league. And no, Mikey, it's not Magic Johnson or the Lakers.
All right, I'll talk about that short in a little bit. But my first thing is, why the hell is Jason Garrett being considered for coaching jobs? Is anyone pay attention to what Chase? They want the guy to stand on the sideline and clap. You want him to clap for Justin Herbert the whole game? What is going on with that? You know how good the Giants' offense was this year? Do you want to know how good they were? They were 16th in points, not 16th in the NFL, 16th in the NFC, 16th in plays, 16th in yards, 16th in passing yards, 14th in passing attempts, 16th in pass completion, 16th in pass TDs. They were 10th in rushing yards in the NFC, okay? 13th in rushing attempts, 15th in rushing TDs, 16th in total TDs. I mean, red zone attempts, 16th. Red zone TDs, 16th. Red zone TD percentage, 16th. Like, I don't know what there is to love about Jason Garrett. I don't get it. I think the Chargers are ridiculous to even put him in the conversation. I don't know if he knows someone there. I think he must have some dirt or there's a favor. Like Jason Garrett's daughter is married to some guy in Chargers organization or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he has a daughter. I'm just ranting, but that's ridiculous. And that, on another note, Nick Caserio going to the Texans from the Patriots. Caserio wanted out of New England last year. I think he's tanked on purpose for the Patriots just to handball him away. Texans got in trouble for tampering last year with him. Like, he got invited to some little shady get together, and I was like, "Hey, Nick, would you like to be GM for the Texans?" It's like, "Yeah, sure." It's like, just clear it through BB, and then it got found out, and it was a big thing during the offseason. But Caserio being gone, not sure quite what his role was, but obviously the Patriots drafts haven't been the greatest in the past few years. So I don't know if that, obviously the buck stops with BB on those, but at the same time, Caserio is, a big part of that. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out with him and Jack Easterby, the former Patriot as well, who apparently is just there was a weird report a few weeks ago where he's just like running shit in Houston. So they know each other. They obviously get along, so that makes sense in that way of thinking. If they hire another Patriots guy, that'd be hilarious. But we'll see what goes on there.
All right, Christian Perry, react. By the way, it looks like Perry, your name is Christian, and Christian looks like your name is Perry based on the order of the names.
I identify as Perry now. So,
I mean,
the platypus.
Cowboys. I'll go first on this one. Tampering in sports, I care as little about as I do tampering with like insider trading. Like, it just happens. Like, the whole Anthony Davis thing, like, that was so far planned.
Right.
The Kawhi Leonard shadiness, that was so far planned in advance. Like, Martha Stewart selling stocks on an airplane bathroom off of her cell phone, that was planned. Like, it really doesn't matter to me. Oh, I love it. I love Phineas and Ferb. Shout out. Alex is running for my take right now. Honestly, the Texans, they're in a position right now where they should risk the biscuit to get a good exec, because Bill O'Brien ran that franchise into the ground. The only good thing he did was sign Chad Hansen to the practice squad so that way he could be elevated when Will Fuller decided to get on the sauce and get kicked off the team for 6 weeks. But, whether it's Magic Johnson with the Lakers, like the NBA, like, it's just one of those things, like, politicians inside trade. The Lakers will contact free agents 6 months before they're available. Like, it's just some shit that happens. Like, the whole reason why Giannis's brother is on our roster was so that way we could tamper with Giannis. Like, it's so coordinated. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Honestly, it's the grease that makes the squeaky wheel go. Like, it's a song and dance that we do. Like, I don't think if he did take the Patriots this year, albeit I don't think the Patriots could have superseded maybe an 8-8 or 9-6 record or 9-7 record anyways, even in a perfect world. I think having the slowest receivers and slowest team in the NFL probably did you over more than any kind of tampering did. But,
I didn't say that. I never said that. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say tampering affected our season.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying at work, at the very most.
You did say that they would win 5 games. I mean, they blew that out of the water. So
Barely. But
I bet under 9. So
I was close. I was talking shit, and I ended up being kind of close. I'm happy. It is what it is. I think I like literally. And why do you want? I riffed 24/7. I would have said, I gave Alex props this year. He was respectful to my Rams. I literally said Cowboys 8-8 this season. I didn't expect him to be this bad. I thought 8-8 was talking shit, and then they just decided to jump off a cliff with the rest of their division,
right?
And kind of go off that way. But
right.
I love Corey's Corner. One of my favorite, if not my most favorite segment on this corner. So I'm happy that it happened in person. Got to shout some love to Corey, who I did dominate just like the rest of you guys in Dynasty football. I might be the greatest Dynasty owner of all time. You guys let me get Kamara, Derrick Henry, and Aaron Jones. So, I'm going to keep jerking myself off until I inevitably get last place next year because I have the worst luck out of any human being on this earth.
Not true.
I didn't talk any shit until I won.
Perry says, hold my beer.
Yeah, not true at all.
Perry says, hold my beer. You can hold my first round draft pick in fantasy. That's all good. But you make some great points. I think the Texans, it was a huge get for them. They need some direction. They need a great head coach, potentially the Chiefs offensive coordinator. I think that would be a match made in heaven. I think the Houston job is still very coveted, albeit they have no first and no second round pick next year. I still think it's a pretty hot job. Deshaun Watson is a quarterback I would want to pair up with 1,000 execs.
Right.
And I still think J.J. Watt has some gas in the tank.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great Corey's Corner. Obviously, I like that you covered 2 different things. I'll briefly touch on what Christian just talked about and focus more on the Jason Garrett comments that you made, since it might be a little bit more down my alley. Plus, at the same time, we didn't really mention much on that on our end. I think with that, for the Texans, it's great because when you hear that a group of people are GMing a team, there's like a group decision being made, it just doesn't give you a good feeling in your stomach. And clearly with the mixture of a group organization, group decision kind of thing on top of Bill O'Brien's incompetence, you can see where it's left them now. So obviously they're fighting an uphill battle with whoever they bring in, but it's going to be a test to how talented they are to move pieces around. And like Christian said, Deshaun Watson's a great quarterback to be paired up with. You got to feel good about that. He's on a contract. You don't have that decision looming. It's about how do I build around this guy? And I think that's a decent job. So I'm not against, although the assets are very depleted strictly because of one man. It's going to be.
Laramie Tunsil's still a good offensive lineman. I think they overpaid for him, but it's still, they have the left tackle, right. They have the quarterback.
They're not like an inept team. I'm just talking about more for assets. To have the Dolphins own the number 3 overall pick this year is asinine. Like the fact that they could have brought in Penei Sewell and made that one of the best offensive lines in the league. The fact that they could have brought in a receiver to fill DeAndre Hopkins' holes like Jamar Chase or Devonta Smith. Like they could have went so many routes here, and now they have to just kind of bite the bullet and hope that the next year they can continue to figure it out. For Jason Garrett, here's the thing. It's interesting because without talking X's and O's, just talking about the positives on Jason Garrett is the fact that he is a family-oriented guy to where he's looking to build a culture and be a leader of men. But when you debate the X's and O's, and that's definitely something that I'm not a big fan of either. But that's one thing and why they held on to him so long. And isn't that what Anthony Lynn is? Isn't Anthony Lynn a well-spoken, great leader of men that can't win close games? It sounds like bringing Jason Garrett in is a slightly more quiet version of an already quiet Anthony Lynn. Like a guy that can install a decent culture in your locker room and hold men accountable as men and lose close games without making the proper adjustments on the sideline. It sounds like Jason Garrett would be the perfect replacement for Anthony Lynn if you're looking to duplicate exactly what you've been doing for the last few years. So without even the X's and O's, it sounds like you're bringing in what just didn't work. And the Chargers have a phenomenal roster there with Herbert, the way he played, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen on a contract, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry if he stays, really good defense with Derwin James coming back from injury. You got Bosa, you got a lot of people, Melvin Ingram. Like you have a lot of people there that are. It's a great job to get, but bringing in Jason Garrett, did he do it? Like Corey just read the stats to you guys, and those were stats within the NFC, right? Those weren't NFL ranks.
Right,
right, Corey. So you're the worst of the worst. like absolutely. With Saquon Barkley out all year, yes. Daniel Jones sat some weeks too, but he's not that good. And
do you agree with C Money 52's comment?
Which one?
The one that's on screen.
Oh, Kangaroos more qualified to coach the Stars than absolutely. At least there'd be some hop to that offense.
But
absolutely.
Is the Chargers' job not one of the most coveted positions this year?
It needs to be Eric Bieniemy or Brian Daboll. It needs to be one of those two guys. Rather, Brian Daboll from the Bills, who turned Josh Allen into the MVP caliber guy that he's playing like right now. And not just that, the offense as a whole, before Stephon Diggs got there, look what they did last year. Like that, and you could like John Brown. He's a good like number 3 guy for you, maybe number 2. No, with the opportunities, a lot of guys. Like you saw some of the guys on the Lakers teams when the Lakers were trash. If you give enough guys 30, 40 minutes, like they're going to put up numbers, but they're not good players overall, like great players like that. And I don't know. I back this with the Chargers. I think
I definitely could see Daboll, because Daboll's a Patriot guy as well.
Yeah, I like that fit. I think it'd be really interesting, and he would do wonders for Herbert, who doesn't need the same amount of help that Josh Allen needed to turn his game around. So I think it would be less about quarterback development. And while still focusing on quarterback development, you got a guy on a rookie deal. It's the second year. Obviously, you want to develop the guy, but less about fixing his mechanics and teaching him how to be confident and stuff, which Justin Herbert does not lack at all. And more about focusing on scheme and maximizing the most out of your assets that you have there and the talent that you do have on that line. The offensive line's not that bad, and Eckler's, it's not the best, but I mean, it's not like the worst, you know. And if you go and address the offensive line in the draft, where I really think you have pretty good receivers, you got Eckler, I think is really good. You already addressed the backup running backs in the draft with Kelly, and you got Balaj, who's ass, but still, you know, you got him for extra depth. Justin Jackson, exactly. So I mean, the running back room is good. The wide receivers, Jalen Guyton's the guy that
offensive line. I would think they would go offensive line.
Sure, absolutely, and that would be the best move. And you bring in a guy like Bieniemy or Daboll on, you're looking great.
I also think they get it was Trey Turner who they traded for, then he opted out.
Oh, Trey Turner.
I can't remember who it was. They have an offensive lineman who opted out, who should be back next year. But yeah, they're all. I really think the Chargers, like, you get Eric Bieniemy in there, or the gentleman you mentioned from the Bills, which is funny because my friend's mom went to high school with him, and they used to make jokes that he would be a coach when he grew up, and then now he's like a freaking baller. But the Chargers job, Jason Garrett should not have that job. He is not a good head coach. I would rather have Anthony Lynn than Jason Garrett. I think Jason Garrett does have all the same qualities. I still think that
they're both underwhelming.
Jason Garrett's there for emotional support.
They're both underwhelming guys that will clap and lose close games.
Anthony Lynn was 12-4 2 years ago and almost went to the Super Bowl if it wasn't Corey's Patriots daddying them at the end of the season. You know, I thought there was a good chance that with that roster they would beat the Patriots, and the Patriots are the Patriots.
Corey's face with any mention of the Patriots being good again.
They beat my Rams that year, so I can't say shit. I like to talk crap, but we lost. But we beat the Saints, and I can't be happier that was the case. But Jason Garrett should not be the head coach. He should not get a head coaching job. He didn't do anything last year that proved he's rehabilitated. If Daniel Jones threw for 4,000 yards and 38 touchdowns, then sure, he should be the head coach of the Chargers. Right now, if anything, he should be the coach of Boise State.
Right. Right. I mean, no, seriously. I mean, it's a joke, but like it's not though. Like if Jason Garrett wants to be a head coach again, and it's not even a joke. Like he's going to have to go back. He's going to have to go to college. Like he's going to have to go be the offensive coordinator for Alabama with Nick Saban. Go do what 16 other guys have done with Nick Saban, and then you'll be a head coach the next year.
Great play.
No contact. No contact at all.
Was there a flag?
No contact.
That's what a coach told me when I was growing up. Did you hold on that play? Maybe. But was the holding called? No. Then you didn't hold. That is the lesson for today, ladies.
Do you guys remember that commercial? I don't know what it was for, but it was like some basketball game, and they were like, "Oh, it's out on this person." And the guy's like, "No, coach, it was out on me." And he was
that was like the worst commercial.
That was the worst. Like, no, bro. That was the dumbest thing. That's Doug Peterson before he went to the Eagles. That's Doug Peterson before he went to the Eagles. Letting that happen.
That was like a pay it forward campaign by a nonprofit.
Yeah, it was. It's not on me. And the ref was like, "Yeah, change the call."
That didn't motivate me whatsoever.
His dad in the stands with $150 on the game just throws his water bottle. You piece of shit.
Oh my god! I thought you were gonna go deeper in that, Christian. I was getting ready for the story.
I can't wait to gamble on my kids' games, bro.
I thought that was a personal experience. I thought Christian was about to get really deep.
Here's the thing, though. My grandfather was like that. My dad's dad was wildin'. So my dad is like super tight butthole, like he probably wore a suit to sell my games. My dad is not like that. I was more likely to gamble on my games in college, NCAA, than my dad was. That's just an honest take. I should have. I fucking should have. That'd have been so easy.
You should have had me do it.
Matt's book had Southeastern games. I've bet on them before. I've been in them DMs like, how y'all feeling this week? Y'all good?
Oh jeez. All right, that was great. Shout out to Corey for Corey's Corner. A live rendition is always great. Now let's get to pick'ems. Last week, Christian was unable to make his pick, so that kind of throws out the.
Wow, he automatically forfeits the season.
Can you use my picks that I put in as a fan?
No. Well, here's the thing.
No, there's no thing.
With how big the lead was, Corey tried doing opposite of my picks on a few of them, and it didn't work out. So it probably.
So Alex won. Congratulations.
No, we're doing a whole new one for the playoffs though, starting fresh from zero. So it should be interesting.
Perfect. Let's get it.
Yeah. So real quick, Corey and Matt went 13-3. Matt actually beat Connie's record for can you put it full screen just so I can see it a little better? So I don't have to squint and have to put CBD on my face. Look at that. Oh man, that's so beautiful. Oh man, I wonder what happens in this game.
Look at those road whites. Look at them.
Wrong team. The Dodgers are the 2020. This is a what have you done for me lately type business, and my city has won for me twice. So I don't give a fuck. Todd Gurley was hurt, you asshole. Like.
Half these guys aren't even on my team anymore, asshole.
You guys bought our playbook off of the black market, and you know it. Liar. We didn't even have Jalen Ramsey.
We didn't need to. The playbook was always in 15 seconds. Once that radio cut off, Goff was done.
There's no playbook. Sean McVay just tells you.
Yeah.
We have a beach, so suck my dick.
Sean McVay's like, pass it to Robert Woods. On this play, the mic was turned off, and he's like, "Oh,
okay." But does Boston have an in and out? Do you have an in and out? Do you have an in and out?
No, but they got Duncan. They got Duncan, bro.
Wait, I have a Duncan 0.6 miles away from my place. We can go get it right now.
You have a restraining order there. Let's not go.
They're donuts.
I wear clothes when I go in there now, Alex.
The Dunkin' food is gas. Their coffee.
It was one night, Alex.
It was one time.
Wow, what a great play. Look at that. Oh wow.
All right, let's get to the pick'ems while this is playing.
This offense looks great.
Oh, so close.
That was just Cooks, dude. Like that was a dime.
That was pass interference. You fucking know it.
That was just Cooks. That was a dime.
My guy, Brandon Cooks.
I wish I could have been with Christian when he was watching this game. Yo, Christian, my best friend put $500 on this game. Motherfucker looked like he just saw the Grudge on the screen in the fourth quarter. He couldn't move, dude. He was just like, I don't want to. He literally said "fuck the NFL" and then went in his room, and we were at his house. he went to bed. There was a full party at his house.
Yeah, called depression. Asshole.
Oh man, I went 11-5. So Corey, it was a four game victory for me on the regular season. Christian's gonna make it up on the postseason, right, Christian?
Last place sends the first place $10. Can we all agree?
Oh, now we do it? Nah, I'm cool with that. But is it 10 Australian dollars or 10 American dollars?
13 rubles, so 10 American. 10 USD.
I'll transfer it at PayPal rubles then.
10 USD.
Yo, Corey, when I bought that jersey off you, I for a second was like, fuck, am I going to have to convert this?
Yo, real quick. So I had to pay Corey because he's in one of my home leagues. And when I sent him the money, PayPal automatically converts it. I was like, I didn't send him that much. All right, so we're going to the first.
This is why we should be using Bitcoin. Exact reason.
Okay, Russell Coons.
Sure, send me some Bitcoin, Christian.
You got cash? I got it.
Real quick. All right. This season we obviously had an extra wild card. What do you guys think, real quick? Are you guys a fan of it? Do you guys think? I mean, I thought it made Week 17 a little bit more competitive, which I thought was fun because they were still fighting for playoff seeds, and I had a rough time on player props, but for the most part, I think I just underestimated how the games were going to go. But are you guys a fan of the extra playoff spot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the 8 and 9 seed, for the bubble. Like that shit was lit. Like,
we were just having this conversation about college football. Like we think that they went from 2 teams to 4, which is phenomenal. And now it's time to take that next leap to make that 6. And to give that extra feel of intensity and that extra chance that anything can happen, if it's meant to be with the Final 4, it's going to be. Like, it'll be like an extra week. But why not give Magic the chance to happen? Like, I would love to see some stuff out. Like, I love the extended format because even the Cowboys and Giants game, they played first. They didn't know. The winner of that game had a chance to go to the playoffs if Washington lost. So that game was a playoff game. Like the way that both those teams played, the way that Andy Dalton went out there and played, that was a fucking playoff game. Absolutely. They treated it like such. And you can feel that intensity. And I felt that across the league with the exception of Doug Peterson. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. I wanted to continue that way. And I want every league to continue stretching the format because baseball did it. Basketball did it. Now football did it. And I'm really hoping that college football takes this on too. And I'm hoping that every league keeps it just like the NBA did because it makes for a more exciting end of the season.
Corey?
Yeah, I like it as well. I think it hurts the 2 seed and they don't get a bye, but I do think it rewards teams for being at the top,
right,
and being at the top alone. So I think it's good in that way. Definitely, I think obviously it adds more intrigue. I don't think it really hurts the value of the playoffs at all. So I think they should keep it going forward, and I think it was a good move.
Yeah.
All right. Before we start the pick 'em, I just want to pick on Connie. He said he'll be here till Corey admits how terrible Cam is. I think that just proves that the new generation's attention span is not all there. Shout out Connie.
Gone.
We've talked about so many topics since that. Have you not paid attention to any of it, Connie?
He went and played COD and came back in.
Watch. All right, let's go to Pick'em's. First game on Super Wild Card Saturday. We got the Indianapolis Colts facing the Buffalo Bills. Christian, who you got?
Give me the Bills. Honestly, I could see a reality where the Bills win the Super Bowl.
Interesting. Corey?
What, Corey?
Wait, what's the question?
I said, do you think the Patriots have the Rams number?
Marshall Falk, what? Are we talking Bills Colts here? All right, yeah. I think the Bills win. I think the Colts cover.
Interesting. Perry?
Actually, as my dark horse pick, I'd taken the Colts because you know me.
Perfect. That $10 from Australia is gonna hit real nice.
Yeah, no, it hurts every piece of my body to say it, but I'm gonna pick the Bills because I wanna win the pick 'em.
It's a safe pick.
See Josh Allen do some more laterals in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree though. I think the Colts cover. I think it's a lot closer than people expect. It's gonna be one of those shootout games, but at the end of the day, I just think the Bills have something this year I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl. I think I know you didn't make that your prediction. I know you said it was more of a dark horse, but I don't think they're a first round bounce. I don't think that. So I think they take this and we'll see who they get matched up with on the second round. But fuck Buffalo, bro.
Yeah, I actually have the Indianapolis Colts. I do think it's going to be an upset. It's not a knock on Josh Allen. I just think that every season we have those teams that come in looking hot, and then they just have that one game where they just don't look like what they did all season, and I think that's going to be the Bills this year. So next game, we have the Ramley going against the Seattle Seahawks. Corey, who you got?
I got the Seahawks. I got a quote here. Never bet against Russell Wilson, so I'm just going to take the bet at quarterback. Hopefully Seattle actually throws the ball, because what they've been doing the last few weeks is not it. So hopefully just forget about the run and just chuck the ball 50 times and let Russell Wilson just go to work.
Once Pete Carroll saw that Russell Wilson wasn't going to win the MVP, he turned the stove off.
Like,
so
we're done.
Yeah, Perry, who you got?
Be honest, it's
okay.
Be honest, it's okay. That totally sounds like a couple thing. Like you're like.
I want to say Rams because I want to support it, but it's just Russell Wilson is just one of those guys that I think wills them to a win. Like, it's not going to be an easy win because McVay's going to coach a hell of a game, and it's going to be because Goff isn't healthy or they're playing with a backup, and it's going to be because they weren't at their full strength. And if this was a healthy matchup, just like how it was almost a pick 'em every time they played throughout the regular season, this would have been a hell of a fucking match. But because of the quarterback play, they edged out the Cardinals. But Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, although they have a lot of problems on that team, I just, yeah. Oh, and Christian's cringing on that play. Christian's cringing on that play, but
they were in St. Louis at the time, so I don't quite remember.
You don't claim them?
I claim my city. I belong to the street.
Oh, holding.
I'm Figueroa, bitch. I belong.
Look behind us, bro.
All right, everybody who just heard Perry, if you ever go to jail, he'll get you out. He just shot himself an enormous amount of bail with Christian right next to him. I'm going Seahawks. Christian knows I was very high on the Rams, like especially after those first couple games. I just think it's just the injury situation. So give me the Seahawks. Give me Russell Wilson. Christian, who you got?
I just think that the Rams defense is such a superbly bad matchup for the Seahawks offense. I love Russell Wilson. I think he's a great dude. Shout out to him getting the David Moore, giving him that pass. He could have taken a knee and he gave him a pass, giving him $100K.
That's cool.
That is just love. That's love for your brother on a level that I don't think most normal people can conceive. Right. Wanting to get your brother bread like that is unbelievable. So shouts out to him. But with that said, he's going to get his shit fucking rocked by Aaron Donald, and Rams are going to take this win. I'll die on my hill. I don't know if Jared Goff is going to be back or not. I'll give him a little hand massage.
I think he should.
Even if he's not back.
You're going to pick injured Jared Goff or Wolford over Russell Wilson.
I believe any given game with our roster
Corey.
I believe
Christian bleaches his asshole. He's not regular.
Yo, I'm gonna get my ass ate, and you're gonna be crying because that shit feels good. I believe.
That's why Perry can't go to Dunkin' anymore.
Bro,
I
just want coffee, dog.
If there is a quarterback in Los Angeles who can listen to Sean McVay, they will win the game. That is a blanket statement. Whether it's Bryce Perkins, Wofford, Bortles, or Goff, if they can just listen and do what they're told, they will win the game against the Seahawks. And it strictly boils down to Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald will put them in a position to win the game. Give me the Rams. This is easy money. Rams money line all the way. I'm sending it. Shout out my bookie. .ag.
Shout out my bookie.
Promo code USN100 at checkout.
All right. Next game, Perry. Who do you got? The Bucks or the football team?
Same situation. I want to say football team, and it sounds so cool to talk about that kind of story like that, but it's going to be Tom Brady because the fact that he's Tom Brady. And Bruce Arians is not a bad coach. Have they lived in perfect symmetry? No. But the roster is very talented. You know, I'm going to give it to the Bucks. Tom Brady's not going to lose in the first round. He threw 40 touchdowns at 40 years old.
Shut up.
He's beating Father Time right now. He looks phenomenal. He hasn't lost arm strength. It's not Drew Brees at that point of their career. Brady could still go for a few more years. It's like LeBron. It's just crazy. Like, you still see him like doing just fine, and you want to hate on it, but then the next game he just shuts you up. And I just don't see him as a first round bounce. And if you do, fuck, the storylines are going to be crazy. Washington's football team takes down Brady. Brady first round bounce. Is he done? You know, it's going to be a whole thing if he loses, but I just don't see it happening. So give me the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm actually going to roll with the football team.
Ooh, spicy.
Shout out to Bruce Arians. He's going to throw some shade at Tom Brady in the presser. Christian, who you got?
It's going to be the Buccaneers. I mean, they're just too deep. I feel like they really haven't shown a lot of their playbook. So like, here's my thing with football, and Alex, you can maybe comment on this too. Certain teams don't show their whole playbook. Like the Chiefs last year, they went to the playoffs not showing a lot of their whole playbook. I think the Buccaneers are the same way. I feel like their route concepts.
Wait, hold on real quick. You have a Brady Bucks helmet? When'd you get that one?
No, this isn't Brady.
Oh, I can't see that.
Warren Sapp.
Oh, I thought you were doing Brady. That's
fucking nice.
I want that so bad.
Yeah, that's nice.
You can have it for $1,200.
Ooh, that's half a stimmy. That's half a stimmy. Or not? That's two stimmies.
Twice the stimmy.
I mean, we do have a property we're selling right now. So, are you really selling that, Corey? Are you fucking?
I mean, for you, I would, because you love Sapp. It's my personal. That's like one of my favorites.
Awesome. All right, I can't do this right now. I'm drunk. I really will.
the PayPal received.
Bro, he's PayPal you the wrong amount because he's trying to convert Australian dollars. With the wrong amount.
During COVID, I had one really bad day where I drank and I was pretty drunk until like, let's say 6:30 in the morning. Don't judge me. And that's when the stock market opens. And then I passed out, woke up at like 4 in the afternoon, and I had like 7 shares of Tesla, which is like $3,700 worth of fucking.
Did you get Tesla's notification today?
I did not know because I sold it the very next day because I was drunk and I'm like, I should not be doing this. Like,
oh man, let me just show you this because I kept on telling some friends like, yo, fucking hold on to your Tesla. Why are you gonna sell it? Tesla hits a 52-week high.
Oh my god, that means
I bought 10 of them. I bought 10 of them.
Oh my god, I hate you.
At $450.
I hate you. We're not getting into this right now.
Corey, I actually have access to Christian's PayPal for other reasons, so I'm gonna forward you the money now. Just kind of get it going, start wrapping it up. Like, just thank you.
Yeah, my PayPal credit limit is $250, and I own a house. Explain that to me, PayPal. I've requested you 3 times to raise my
Christian's hit that part. Christian's hit that part of the drug already.
That's bullshit.
Come on, PayPal.
Credit. What the fuck is credit? This is
all right,
bullshit.
The Bucks are winning this game, and they're going to cover the line as well. So, Alex Smith is not going to get going. Bet all the J.D. McKissick props because he's going to be catching like 10 balls because he's going to be checking down to him every single play, and it's going to be brutal.
What's the line?
I think it was 9.5.
Okay. Oh wow! Hold on, I'm seeing 8 now. Ooh.
So it is being bet down.
So -8.
Time to pounce. If you're on the Bucks, it's 8. It's at 8.5 on my book. So, I've already bet it. I bet all these games already. So,
of course you did, you beast. All right, next game. Next game, we got.
Because I'm a G like that.
Next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens facing the Tennessee Titans. This is a Sunday edition of the Wild Card Weekend. You know what? I'm going to go with a surprise here. Give me Lamar Jackson and the Ravens on a little payback game. Christian,
I think it's the Ravens, too. As much as I love Derrick Henry's regular season.
I love Derrick Henry, too.
I feel like they just kind of used him a little bit too much last week. I'm concerned about him this week. I think the Ravens, another team, it's a team like Same thing with Brooklyn and the Jazz today. Perry bet on the Jazz versus Brooklyn. I was scared. I stayed away from it. This is a game I would stay away from because I could see not only the Ravens winning, I could see them running up a bag, just like Cleveland did on the Titans a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to go with the Ravens.
I agree. Right. Raven up.
Oh. Go ahead, Barry.
Ravens.
That's it. Raven up.
Wow. You know what? I'm very surprised that it's
LJ8. LJ8.
Claw up, whatever you say.
Yeah, I'm just so surprised that like this.
Shout out to Kitty.
Yeah, shout out to Kitty.
We got you, bro. We got you. Welcome to the network, bro. This is for you.
And biscuits.
Yeah, and biscuits. Shout out to DFF biscuits.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, biscuits.
Perry's only hyping up Kitty because Kitty said it like Cowboys were like a second favorite team. That's the only reason Perry's so proud right now.
First time I met, he goes, "Yo, Perry fucks," and I go, "All right, I love this guy."
He says that to everybody.
How do you root for a team from a city you've never been to? That is the question.
How do you not? Christian started rooting for a football team at age 23. Like, absolutely.
No,
like, I like football since a child. We didn't have a team here.
I will root for a team that goes to LA. So a team came to LA.
I'm not like, I love my city, but if nothing's here, like I adapted like some of my best friends at the time. Their teams, like Ariel Cracer and like Austin Call, a bunch of these guys.
an NFL team for years, so I didn't need to adapt.
But yeah, we didn't have a team. But yeah, I like football a lot earlier, like actual professional football teams. Like Christian was rooting for like the success of the league for like
when USC won their national championship, they would have beaten the Dallas Cowboys this year. Fact.
No college team would ever beat a professional team ever, and that's the stupidest thing.
You saw the Jets this year. You know that's not true.
Dude, the Jets almost beat the Rams. What are you talking about?
They did beat the Rams.
Oh yeah.
Joke.
I'm definitely gonna tell Monique to clip this part where Christian's pouring more and yelling. This is great.
Cheers, motherfucker. I mean, we were get drunk tonight, and we did.
I had wine ready to go from New Year's.
We got the second to last game. We got the Chicago Bears facing the New Orleans Saints. Christian, who you got?
I effing hate my entire soul that I have to say it's the Saints. It's the same thing with Dallas Cowboys, which I bet on them last week. So thank you, Perry. Suck my dick. Yeah. Another example of me.
Hey, Patrick Surtain season, baby.
Patrick Surtain, souffle, matinee.
You guys are gonna draft Kyle Pitts. Watch.
Oh my God, that would be the most toxic take.
Dalton Schultz is playing good. Shut up.
Blake Jarwin off that ACL bet. But yeah, I'm going with the Saints. Like Corey said, their cap space is so egregiously bad next year. Like it is the like epitome of having like $22,000 in credit card debt. Like due at the end of the month, and you're like, spend it, get Jadeveon Clowney, like fuck it, keep going. Because they almost did. They almost got Clowney.
Wholesale sell.
Yeah. Corey, what you got?
I got the Saints. They were my favorite in the beginning of the year, and they're going to stay my favorite going forward. So I like the Saints in this one.
Perry?
I don't care if it's a minus 500 money line. I'm betting money on it on Matt's book because I feel like it's free money. So plain and simple, like Sean Payton will not allow his team to lose. If that's Breeze, Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, I don't care who's the quarterback, Sean Payton will not lose in the first round this year. Plain and simple.
I just want all bettors to know that every bet that Perry says is a lock never hits.
When I say the word lock, I stayed away from the word lock. I said I'm betting, and I didn't give any advice. I said I will make my mistakes on my own.
Oh
I'm bringing my homies down.
Wait, hold on, Perry. Are you gonna do a Caleb bet? Are you gonna do like a $300 bet on a minus 400 thing?
No way. I don't bet with money that I don't feel good about. Like I'll throw like a $50 bet on like 50 for like a $20 return or something.
Yeah, $1.20.
Ooh,
look, Christian.
Let's
go, Anthony.
Ooh, nice. Was Christian drunk or was he sober?
I don't even remember.
So drunk.
Yeah.
I went 15-1 in a couple one. I went 15-1 in one, picking them, and 14-2 in the other. And then
I'm about to go perfect in this one.
Unless you actually say lock, Perry doesn't bet.
I'm not saying that word. It's out of my vocabulary.
I'm not saying that.
Wow, I went 13. Wow. Wait, hey, Connie, what did you and Josh? Wait, no, you said you got 15 and 1.
Y'all take steroids that week? Like
Josh, who'd you pick?
All of your records?
How did Josh do?
Hold on. If we made pick'ems on their podcast, I think that should count for my pick'ems last week, shouldn't that?
No.
Hold on. Whoa. Fuck my dick. That was a 1 day difference.
Different time.
No, we can do it.
Hey, well, I'll take the 15 and 1 I had in my family one then. Okay, cool. All right, cool, sweet. Thanks, Alex. I'll take the trophy.
You guys,
I remember.
You guys could both. I just want you guys to know. You guys could both take 15 and 1. I still would have won. like that's why when Christian was like, let me take the 15 and 1, I'm like, okay, like that's fine, like whatever. Yeah, like if it was closer, I would have said suck my dick.
He goes whatever helps you sleep. He goes whatever helps you sleep at night, brother.
I beat you in fantasy playoffs, Alex. Stop.
You know what's fucked up? You know what's fucked up is if I got my score in this podcast and y'all went 16 and 0, y'all still wouldn't have beat me.
I don't care.
No, I'm just saying. Like I was chilling. Of course, that one's not for money. All right,
flag.
You know what? I'm gonna, since this one's for money, I'm gonna have fun with this one. Give me the Bears.
You.
Gross. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes. Yo, if the Bears somehow win, I'm going to clip this. I'm gonna text Monique. Just save this.
That was the McRib of picks. That was disgusting.
Christian, I've seen you eat 3 McRibs in front of me.
Never. I may be fat, but I've never had a Twinkie. Never had a McRib.
You never had a Twinkie?
No.
Okay, Twinkies I recommend to the audience if you can find them. But up top, have either of you two eaten McRib?
Twinkies are extinct?
I remember that there was that year where Twinkies you couldn't find Twinkies anymore. You were selling Twinkies on eBay, and then I think another company bought it. But there was
I'm telling you right now, buy all your little snacks in America and come sell them here because they're like 10 times the price. Like Pop-Tarts, $10 a box here.
I'm pretty sure TSA would have a problem with that.
Dude, I'll ship them to Corey. Yeah, we got this, Corey. Hey, Corey, we'll talk after the show.
No, actually,
we'll talk after the show.
Perry, Christian, I've actually been
outside my house full of Twinkies.
I've actually been planning. Figuring out if we can all just figure out everybody like Perry will get the chips, Christian will get the cookies, I'll get the baked stuff. I'll put Chick-fil-A in there for him. I saw him tweeting about Chick-fil-A once.
Are we doing a potluck? Is that what we're organizing?
Yeah, we're sending it to Corey. Some home cooking, man.
Oh, nice. We'll get
with customs. It'll get there in a week and a half. That chicken will still be good.
We're gonna set up Corey. We're gonna set up Corey for HelloFresh, and HelloFresh is gonna show up on his doorstep.
No.
It's gonna be like, it's from us, bro.
That's not.
Fly out to LA. We'll go to Roscoe's. We'll go to Mulberry Street. We'll get you all the good stuff.
Which Roscoe's? Because there's a few that kind of.
The one in LA.
The one by the Hollywood sign.
Okay. Wait, I want to go to that Shakey's place that Bill Simmons always talks about. That's super dodgy.
Shakey's?
Yeah.
The place? So good. Yeah.
Dude, the first time.
Have either of you eaten a McRib?
No. Have I eaten a McRib?
Yeah. Never.
I have eaten a McRib.
I haven't.
Can you tell me how McRib is? Because I know we were about to get off the McRib conversation before we lose that one. I've never talked to any human that's ever had a McRib. I just want to know how it was. Like if you give me a positive review, I'll go get it. I'm dead serious because I'm gross like that.
Just try it. It's not as bad as Christian's saying, but I feel like once you have it, you're like, okay, I've had it. Like it's not.
All right.
It wasn't life changing. Now it wasn't a Popeye's chicken sandwich. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Popeyes is trash. You literally live in Southern California. There's a chicken place every 2 feet. Why are you getting Chick-fil-A?
Come to Buffalo.
Support your local business, you ass.
Send me some of those.
I got you. I'll send you some Buffalo Wild Wings rings. Yeah. I'll send you sauce. I will get to you.
Yeah. We're gonna create a black market in Perth of American goodies. All right. Final game of Wild Card Weekend. We have the Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers. Corey, who you got?
Cleveland by double digits. I'm kidding.
Ooh, that was so spicy. I couldn't even handle that, bro. Oh my God, you got me there, bro.
I saw Alex's face.
I was writing it down. I was like, Browns.
I was
Browns
sweating.
minus
I was
10.
like, this is so high. I can't even breathe.
Perry, who you got?
Give me the Steelers because Mike Tomlin is an absolute G. And the Browns don't know how to take COVID protocol seriously. So they deserve to lose this game. But they deserve to be in the playoffs. I mean, it's not just this week. It's numerous weeks. So when there's smoke, there's fire. So I don't know why every other team has no issue getting through it. Although there's been
Jarvis Landry just blocked you on Twitter.
I'm just saying. So yeah, I have like 10 family members in Ohio. My little cousin that does our graphic design work goes to Ohio State. And I still every day will say how bullshit it is that Ohio State's in this. The fact that Ohio State now has COVID problems shows that Ohio doesn't take this seriously on the same week that the Browns have COVID problems. When there's smoke, there's fire.
Perceptions.
Oh, well, I'm down with that one for sure. If he plays though, like where this is going, it's gonna be some test. But look, if the Browns win, I'll be very happy about it because they deserve a playoff win at some point in their franchise. So it'd be really nice to it was almost like even though they cheated at that point when we lost to the Astros and the Dodgers, that was the year that Houston was having those floods and they never won a championship. So I was like, if there is a team to lose to, I'm okay to lose to Houston this year. Like, give that city a chance to rally around something. They've never had this before. I knew they were cheating, of course. I was like, if there's a team to lose to this year, instead of the Yankees, I'm down to give this to the city of Houston. And I feel like it'd be the same thing. In
Perry
Cleveland.
says that like the Dodgers had they've won one in the past 20 years before this year.
Yeah,
he's selfish, Perry. Damn it, like Christian. He's selfish, like Christian.
Time too. Like I would have been so upset if we lost to the Yankees. We lost to the Houston was flooding at the time. So you're like, all right, give it to them. They never won before, but it's like the Browns. Like you want to give your little brother a win in Madden sometimes. You want to give it to him, but I just don't think it's
regular season game, not the World Series.
I just don't think it's gonna happen. Like Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the league, and he's the most underappreciated coach in the entire league. He hasn't had a losing season since Nam. I'm just saying, he's had Super Bowl champ. He's a Super Bowl champ. He never loses. When it comes to losing seasons, every year, no matter what pieces you give him, he gives you a chance to win. And he's got so much playoff success. And this is Kevin Stefanski's first year coaching, and we don't even know if he's going to be there. So Browns, you already feel go Browns. We hope we got you, bro. But then your coach ain't even there either. And I'm sure there'll be more players out because Cleveland is not taking it seriously. And the Steelers are going to come swooping and grab a win. And then the fact that they don't have a running game might catch up to them in the playoffs. But I don't feel it in my gut that this is Cleveland's time. And we all felt 3-4 weeks ago, we were like, oh, Cleveland's on the rise. They're hot. This is it, and then now it's just if that's COVID or regression, whatever it may be, timing is everything. You're hot when you're hot. There's a reason why Foles and the Eagles won that Super Bowl. You're hot when it matters, and they're not hot when it matters right now. Right now, it's looking like they're depleted, and the Steelers will figure out a way to get it done, but it'll be super close.
Yes, hot like Corey on the basketball court. Bet over 6.5 3-pointers. He hits that every game. I have the Steelers.
Yeah.
Duh. Christian, we got.
Only reason why I'm taking the Steelers is one of the hardest things to do in sports is beat a team in back-to-back weeks. And for that reason, I'm going to go with the Steelers. My only reason.
All right. So I got this wrapped up. Now, is Perry going to be in the money situation?
Do you want to be in the money?
Yeah, I'll pay you guys if I'm last.
Okay. So.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do a $10 for this week, and then a $10 for the entire playoffs between us three, the three hard counters.
Wait, there's something I want to try with us four. If you guys are game,
I'm always down.
I will get the exact rules for you guys and send to it, but it's a touchdown scoring prop game. So I think you get to pick a touchdown or 2 touchdown scores in every round of the playoffs, and whoever makes the most money wins. So put $10 in the pool. So there's 4 of us, but pick 10, $40, and then you get 2 picks for a touchdown score. So obviously, if you pick, a guy that's 2-1, you win that.
Christian's gonna pick Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. Watch.
Well, yeah, Rams defense might pay 5-1 or something like that. But whoever wins the most money, say in an imaginary world of $100 bets, wins our pool.
I like that.
Let's do it.
And Alex, do you have the odds already?
Yeah, I mean,
the odds are out pretty much.
I think
for the most part they are.
I need to look through them.
Yeah, obviously. I'm saying that.
Yeah, we're not doing it live right now.
I was about to say I'm on my element.
He's like, I want to shower.
Christian's eyes aren't even open, dude.
Yo, that's the worst thing is anytime I smoke or drink, my shit's fucking closed, bro.
Christian looks like he's been up for like a third shift, and and he's got somewhere to be at 8 a.m.
I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, you're working 24/7, son. So it don't really matter.
Yo, spreadsheet, the grind never sleeps.
If you guys follow Christian on Twitter, and his Twitter is McGowan75, he actually has tweeted a 30 tweet thread about how you can turn your $600 stimulus into a business. So definitely follow him for those business advice. But all right, guys, we got everything. We got everything locked in. Anything, Corey, go ahead and plug it, all your shows and all your
all my stuff.
All your black market American goodies.
I'm on a vacation for 3 days, so I'll probably be doing the podcast from a hotel at the Crown Resort here in Perth. So, I will be still tweeting out my picks at CMoney52.
Did the power parlay hit? You didn't tell me?
No. I had an abysmal day today. I'll be lucky to get a couple wins out of today, but bounce back day tomorrow, and we're gonna do that daily and try to get you some winners. Obviously, we're gonna do the Bets on Rap podcast on the weekend, Saturday night for most of you guys, Sunday if you're in Australia like me. So it should be a blast, and I'll see you guys there.
Perry, anything you want to plug besides Christian?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you can see on the bottom of the ticker, you can see all of our sponsors, MyBookie, sign up with USN 100. Obviously, go gamble all the picks that I put in here today. If you want to lose all your money, if you want to win all your money, go gamble Corey's picks or Alex's. Shout out to our shop. Please go support us. It was our 2-year anniversary yesterday, so it's just a very special week for me and Christian. And I just feel super blessed and just wanted to take a moment just to cheers everybody that's really, really helped us throughout this whole process and helped us evolve into something that I couldn't have ever dreamed of. And, shout out to these 2 amazing gentlemen above me. And, of course, the amazing gentleman to the left of me and all the rest of the directors to where, it's just been a team effort. And I'm so proud. Seriously, I'm so proud. And I do have a promo code on our shop. If you go check us out at teespring.com/stores/unwrapped, go use code 2YEAR, TWOYEAR, all one word, 2YEAR for our 2-year anniversary. It's going to go get you 20% off. We're going to give you 20% off all month. I'm keeping it going until February 1st because we're so excited to be here on year 3. February is going to be a great month for us, but throughout January, we want to celebrate this with you guys, and we really hope that you can support us during that time. So, we got fannies, we got the masks, all that fun stuff, everything that you can want, hoodies. We got our partner designs up there. We're putting more and more as we speak. We got Amber's up there last night. Garrett and Moose have theirs up. We have Gen Z and Fights Unwrapped. So definitely some great variety on there. Again, that's teespring.com/stores/unwrapped with code 2YEAR, WOYEAR for 20% off. I really appreciate the support and just wanted to take a moment to tell everyone that is listening to the stream how much I love you. All you gentlemen, how much I love you and how thankful I am to be here and be attacking year 3. And it's just an absolute blessing. So cheers to that. And, absolutely nothing but love to everybody here. And I'm blessed to be here.
Damn, man.
Follow me at Perry Aston, my first and last name on everything.
Damn.
Christian, anything you want to plug besides Perry?
I'll plug Perry after this. But you know, for all of the people who are watching this right now, yeah, follow me on Twitter at McGowan75. Follow my Instagram at Scalpad. I won't show you how to make your stimulus $600 into $13,000, but I will show you how to retire before 55. So follow me on Instagram and show you how to not be like Alex and work all the time. Come play golf with me at 10 a.m. Fun.
Yeah, how that man became an entrepreneur. Definitely check that out.
I got great friends. Well, sexy as hell. My clients know their money is safe with those traps.
Invest your money in those traps, guys.
With those traps. I got the deals, bro. I'm so sexy. So
is that Google? Nice.
That is Yahoo. Yeah. I'm a cute son. I don't give a fuck.
That ain't him.
Bro, how is that on there? Hey, Corey. Okay.
That's Christian watching the Rams just blow it this weekend.
You can go watch Christian from last year playing Madden on his little TV.
he was doing Twitch before Twitch was there.
I got paid. That's all I care about.
Look at the flow.
I'm so sexy, son.
David Bakhtiari before there was a David Bakhtiari.
I miss Thor Christian.
Did you do a Troy Polamalu commercial with that hair?
Oh, that's a head and shoulders.
Christian walked so Bakhtiari could run.
He walked so he could tear his ACL.
Look at that. Look at that determination.
Oh, that's outside the shoulders there.
Ooh, that is not okay.
That's a hold.
But look at that determination. That determination. With this determination, he will get you your investment and he will make you a profit.
First of all.
Oh my God! There's a whole thing. That's 315.
315.
So yeah, my senior year, I was like 330 at one point.
I was always half of Christian. Like that was how it worked. Like body type, I was like, if you divided Christian by half, it was me.
I don't know who Dustin Hunt is.
Dude, that's Dustin. Is that Dustin or network?
Yeah. Play my freshman highlight tape. You're not down.
That's definitely not Dustin on network. I don't think.
It's not.
Dude, Christian's a Steelers fan. Hello.
There it is.
I would always play as the Steelers. I love the fans because they're so easy to start with. You just trade.
Shout out Mark.
Why are we talking about me right now?
Oh my God! All right, shout out to Christian. Shout out to Scout Pads. Go follow that. Go educate yourself. Go get the bag. Follow Corey. I'll if you want to send him some American goodies, I'll give you his PO box. What else? For Perry, please send him Dunkin' Donuts gift cards so he has an excuse to walk into that establishment. Anything else? Christian is endorsing the McRib for the next president, and that is it for the Hard Count. Thank you for joining us. It's been a blast. Good night, everybody.